Welcome, Gunners family. Breaking new Arsenal youngsters who could save Gunners millions in the transfer market in 2026. The Hale End Academy continues to be a reliable production line for Arsenal. Nwaneri and Myles Lewis-Skelly have now established themselves at first-team level, following in the footsteps of Bukayo Saka. With this the strongest squad Arsenal have had in many years, breaking into Mikel Arteta's plans has rarely been this difficult. However, Arsenal once again have an extremely talented crop pushing to get their chance. Here, Standard Sport takes a look at 3 Arsenal youngsters to keep an eye on next year. Max Dowman. It's not exactly the bravest of calls to expect Dowman to have a big 2026. There has been huge excitement over Dowman's development for a long time, and his performances on the pitch have done little to slow that down. The 15-year-old made his Premier League debut against Leeds earlier in the season, winning a penalty with some typically quick feet in the box. Dowman has also become the youngest ever goalscorer for the England U19s. Even in an incredibly deep Arsenal squad, Dowman has made 5 first-team appearances. He will be out for at least another month with an ankle injury, but when he returns, he will hope to be back in the senior squad. Arteta trusts him, insisting the teenager's age is irrelevant. The Spaniard said last month, "That's personality, that's courage, and you cannot teach that. You have it or you don't. And it doesn't matter what his passport says. You throw him in this context and he is able to adapt and have a good performance." Marley Salmon. Salmon made his Arsenal debut in the Champions League this month at the age of 16. Unlike many of the Gunners' most exciting academy prospects in recent seasons who have come in and shown in forward areas, Salmon is a defender. He joined the Arsenal Academy as a 10-year-old and was initially a striker before he was then turned into a center-back shortly after. Comparisons have been made with William Saliba due to Salmon's calmness on the ball, and his temperament has impressed the Arsenal staff. "He is emotionally a really stable boy, and he wants it," Arteta said. "It is still very early in his career, but he is a really good prospect." Salmon can also play at right-back, where he made his debut against Club Brugge. With Ben White on the sidelines with a hamstring injury and Timber needing his minutes managing, Salmon could get his chance for further involvement under Arteta. Luis Munoz. It would be unrealistic to expect Munoz to have any first-team involvement in 2026, but the youngster has the talent to generate plenty of noise next year. He came off the bench to feature against Bayern Munich in the UEFA Youth League last month, aged only 13 years, 11 months, and 15 days. Dowman was almost a year older than that when he first featured in the competition. That was a remarkable achievement for Munoz, and unsurprisingly, he is the youngest player to ever feature in the UEFA Youth League. Now 14, Munoz primarily plays as an attacking midfielder, but was used as a forward against Bayern. He regularly plays above his age group, with Munoz primarily involved with the Arsenal U16s this season. The next step is to establish himself with the U18s. Munoz has been called up to the England U15 squad, but he is also eligible to represent Spain, Jamaica, and Panama. Chelsea and Liverpool snubbed as Arsenal dominate Jamie Carragher's team of the season so far. Arsenal players have dominated Jamie Carragher's team of the season so far. The Gunners sit top of the Premier League table heading into Christmas Day, despite some less than convincing performances of late. Arsenal have been heavy favourites to win the title, which would be their first in 22 years, due in part to the miserable form of Carragher's former side, Liverpool, who are not present. Chelsea are also no-shows, while only Erling Haaland represents Manchester City, who sit just 2 points back from Arsenal in the standings. 7 teams in total are represented, with Crystal Palace getting in 2 defenders, with Sunderland goalkeeper Robin Roofs and midfielder Granit Xhaka getting the nod. Declan Rice completes the midfield too. "I would say the right-back position was most difficult," Carragher said. "I was really close to putting and Timber in, who I'm a huge fan of. Also Reece James I think has been outstanding, but he's played a lot of his football in central midfield. The other one to put in was Moises Caicedo, and that was a really tough one," he said. "I didn't want to put all 3 because I think they're almost not defensive, but I wanted to put an attacking midfield player in there. I've obviously got Bruno Fernandes. I've said I think Declan Rice just has the edge on Caicedo. I just felt the impact of Xhaka this season. He's had the biggest impact of a signing or effect on a team. He's so important to Sunderland, he had to be in the team. So I apologize to Chelsea fans, which I seem to do a lot, but I couldn't find room for Caicedo." The attack is completed by Manchester United's Bruno Fernandes, Aston Villa's Morgan Rogers, and Bournemouth's Antoine Semenyo, sitting behind Haaland. "Asked for a player of the year so far," Carragher said. "Haaland, Declan Rice, they'd be certainly the 2 that would stand out right away. Morgan Rogers, I think, is sort of just on their coattails. If you're talking about player of the year so far at the halfway point, it would be a toss-up between Declan and Erling Haaland." Thanks for watching. Please share, like, subscribe, and comment.